So the first thing is a mistake, not looking at decluttering as a project. Here's how I used to look at decluttering.
Well, I guess I should go organize the garage.
I better go organize the garage. When you're actively decluttering your whole home, I think it is super handy to look at it as a project. For example, if you were renovating your bathroom, it wouldn't be something you would randomly do here and there, or you would not make progress very quickly and life would become very hellish, honestly, if that's what you were doing with your bathroom. Same with your kitchen, like you would want to get it done. And if you didn't do it fast, you would probably start moving backwards with your progress. So I love the idea of blocking a regular time to get things done. And if you need to put a few things in life on hold, that is okay, because you are working towards a goal and you want to get it done. You're treating it like a project. And I really love this idea because you are just focusing on this one area and you're not getting stressed out in other things because you know this is your priority. Now, the second one is that it needs to be a whole day deal. Here's another piece of the problem, is that thinking you need to devote your entire weekend to decluttering. Again, that's what I used to do, and it really made a problem for a couple of reasons. There are a few problems with this scenario. First, you will burn out fast if you do long decluttering days. And what's worse is that this can actually seem like you're getting a lot done quickly, but really you're not, because it's almost like a crash diet. You end up falling off the wagon and then you eat a whole delicious, decadent chocolate cake only to completely forget about your diet. Instead of even like a diet, you would be like developing healthy, sustainable habits, like having a salad and just a cookie here and there. So remember, we're looking at it as a project, meaning you should spend some time on the project most days if you want to get it done. Now, one of the things that I love to remind people of, that if you spend 1 hour a day for a year, that's 365 hours in 1 year. Think about that. You could probably get so much done. You could probably start a bunch of hobbies in addition to that in a year. If you wanted to only do half an hour a day, that's 182 and a half hours in 1 year. And 15 minutes a day is 82 and a half hours. And 15 minutes is just over 90 hours. So consistently showing up to this project, knowing that this is something that you're getting done and that you are putting time in, but that you don't need to burn yourself out by doing super long, stressful, hard days. Remember, slow and steady wins the decluttering race. Now, a next one is not being mindful about what we are bringing in. Now, if I start digging in this pile of soil, but then I come along and I refill the hole, then I am not doing any good for myself. We can declutter all we want, but if we're bringing in more than is leaving, that's just no way to get on top of that. And also remember, because this is a project, if you were renovating your kitchen, you wouldn't like come along and just start putting things back because you would be throwing yourself behind. It would just make so much worse. So here are some ideas. Anytime you buy or receive a gift, try to declutter at least 2 times as much as you bring in, which is great because then you're staying ahead of the game. Another thing, have a plan when you are shopping. Anytime you get gifts, anytime you're getting food, have a plan, write it out and try to stick to the list. You know, I know a lot of people who they actually get food delivered, or they do like the curbside shopping where they order ahead of time. So then they 100% stick their list. They don't do extra things. Like for me, I love to go to Costco. Costco is a funny store because it has like odd things showing up, and you know, I'll be like, ooh, this is interesting, that's interesting. That's where you run into problems. Quite often in those situations, even if it's something I really think I could use, what I do is I say like, no, I am going to go home. I like to do a 24-hour cooling off period. Think about it. Where am I going to put it? Am I going to use it? Am I going to end up decluttering it soon? And most importantly, where is it going to go? Another big one is lies that we tell ourselves. Now, I am a professional liar to myself. I can come up with a lie, which is often an excuse, faster than I can eat a cookie. Here is a perfect example. So apparently it's like really helpful for us to get sun in the morning. It helps with circadian rhythms. It can actually help with gut microflora, all of these things. This is what the very wise Andrew Huberman and many others, they talk about. But I will often come up with a lot of excuses that initially seem really valid. Like I will say, oh, it's just too gray, it's too rainy, it's too dark, there's just no point in trying to get out. It's too wintry, etc. Now the winter part is true, and yes, it does get gray and rainy and dark in winter where I live. But if I am coming up with those excuses, those are lies that I'm telling myself for why I can't do it. I still know that if I get out there, that light is still helpful. Not to mention the fact that I'm building up those habits, which are beneficial too for the days where it's like oddly sunny in the morning, which is rare. And it's the same with decluttering. I'll say, oh, I don't have time, I don't know where to start, etc. These are procrastination excuses because we might feel totally overwhelmed when we're coming up with these excuses. Like I could say, oh, like I can't get the sun because of this and this and this. It's not like Andrew Huberman is like trying to make me do this thing to benefit anybody other than me. It's the same like when I have patients and we're like, okay, you need to make sure that you're elevating your foot so that your wound can heal, or you stop smoking or something like that, and we come up with excuses. Like as humans we just do that, but the thing is, the only people being hurt by us coming up with these excuses and these lies are ourselves. And I think part of the reason is maybe we're not actually dealing with the reasons deep down why we are struggling to declutter. We want to declutter, we look around and we're like, I'd like to get rid of some of the stuff, but a lot of it is like we have beliefs about, if I hold on to this stuff then I'm safe. We don't even realize it, but we feel like being prepared is helpful just in case. The responsibility a lot of us feel. Habits. Every time we start decluttering, something happens. We end up getting stuck on a piece and then we lose track and then we feel bad about ourselves. Another thing is generational stuff. So many of us have been affected by the Depression era things that a lot of people, like they didn't have a ton of extra stuff, so you would never declutter anything. And then those habits get passed down. We will feel guilty. I know for me, I never ever once considered that decluttering would be a thing that you would do. Another misconception is that we should just know how to declutter. And not everything is easy. And I truly understand that a lot of us need stuff spelled out. I need so much spelled out for me. If anybody is giving me directions for anything, I'm basically like, you need to tell me exactly what to do. I can't even like think about the questions I have sometimes, and then I'll be in the middle of it and then I get sidetracked and maybe I'll be like, what method should I use? So I actually have a video all about the method that I use to declutter. It works really well for me and my ADHD brain. Check that out here. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.